After extensive deliberation, the caucus resolved to humbly appeal to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, to consider a political and humanitarian intervention using the constitutional powers granted under Section 175 of the 1999 Constitution to grant pardon to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Our appeal is grounded on the following considerations. 1. We believe that the continued detention of Mazi Kanu has contributed significantly to tension and agitation in the Southeast. Despite numerous calls for calm, the atmosphere remains strained. A presidential act of mercy at this time has the potential to de-escalate tensions, restore normalcy, and reduce the cycle of security operations and civil resistance. 2. Beyond its political nature, this matter has taken a deep emotional toll on families, communities, and the general population. The Southeast has experienced profound social disruptions in the form of closed markets, interrupted schooling, reduced commercial activity, and fear. A political resolution will ease these human burdens and allow communities to return to a dignified life. Thirdly, Nigeria has, in critical moments, relied on presidential magnanimity to heal divisions and consolidate peace. Indeed, the authors of our Constitution, and I mean the 1999 Constitution, conceived of Section 175 in anticipation that the bare dictates of the law may sometimes prove insufficient in tackling complex legal issues that are better handled politically via presidential discretion. It is our belief that an act of clemency by the President would resonate deeply across the country as a symbol of inclusiveness, fairness, and leadership that prioritizes healing over division.
So guys, Nnamdi Kanu has been in the prison for the past few days, and look at the real criminal, the real bandit, the real terrorist is still dying and working with terrorists. Look at the real person that is supposed to be in the position that Nnamdi Kanu is. What is really going on in our country, Nigeria? Nnamdi Kanu, for speaking freedom of his people, is in the prison. For speaking, is in the prison. What is really going on in this country? But look at the real criminal, look at the real bandit. He's still sitting, eating, and dying with bandits. For speaking freedom, they sent him to prison. For speaking about human rights, they sent him to prison. Is this really right? What is really going on? What is really going on? And the real bandit is outside there. The government cannot do anything about it. I will be playing a very short video for you guys to watch what happened yesterday, the 30th of November 2025. Another kidnapping, and that is what the government is supposed to be focusing on. Not Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu is a man of freedom. Nnamdi Kanu is a man of humanity. Nnamdi Kanu is a man that has come to change the situation that is going on in Nigeria. I'll be playing a video for you guys what happened yesterday, 30th November 2025.
Court will hold warrants to move Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to Abuja for appeal records. It's true. As the legal battle surrounding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has taken a dramatic new turn, a decision that could shape the next phase of his freedom struggle has just dropped from the court. The court has withheld the warrants to move Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to Abuja for the preparation of his appeal records. This single decision has frozen an entire legal process, and today Nigerians are asking one burning question: why? Stay with me, because what you are about to hear next may shake the nations and spark a legal storm like never before. In a move that many did not see coming, the court declined to issue the essential warrant required to transport Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from DSS detention in Abuja for the compilation of his appeal records, a critical step in his legal journey. Without that warrant, without that authorization, he cannot be brought before the court. The appeal records cannot be finalized, and the case cannot be moved. The judicial wheel has stopped mid-motion. Let's make this very clear. This isn't about delay, it isn't about paperwork. This is about a man whose destiny is tendered to the four corners of a courtroom he cannot physically reach. A single withheld warrant has become a war. Legal analysts say this decision may be tied to procedural dispute, questions of jurisdictions, security arrangements, and the unresolved controversy over his manner of return to Nigeria. Others believe something deeper is at play. A power struggle, a break applied at the most sensitive moment of appeal preparation. Was the court being cautious, or did pressure, political or legal, influence this standstill? Today, no one has that answer. But here is what we do know. For Nnamdi Kanu, time is not neutral. Every court date lost, every moment altered, every warrant withheld, at one more day in confinement, one more day outside the courtroom where his fate is supposed to be decided. And these supporters are not taking it lightly. Across social platforms and diaspora communities worldwide, voices are rising with urgency. Why was the warrant withheld? What are they afraid of? Is justice being delayed or denied? The air is dense, the courtroom corridors heavier than ever. With the warrant withheld, the next move becomes critical. Either the court releases a fresh directive or Kanu's legal team pushes harder, louder, and faster. This suspension, this frozen moment, could become a turning point, because the difference between justice served and justice buried is often decided by a moment exactly like this. Appeal on hold, warrant withheld, case at standstill. This is Negro Voice, the voice of truth, the voice of freedom. On the front line report, the judicial stage is set, the nation is watching, and the next ruling could rewrite everything. Stay tuned, the story is still on.
So guys, let's get into the news headline of the day. Appeal Court dismisses Nnamdi Kanu's rights violation suits, says case now academic after his terrorism conviction. I read, the Director General of the Department of State Service, DSS, and the Attorney General of the Federation, AGF, were named as respondents in the case. The Court of Appeal in Abuja on Friday struck out a fundamental rights appeal filed by the jailed leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, declaring the case academic following his recent conviction and life sentence. The Director General of the Department of State Service, DSS, and the Attorney General of the Federation, AGF, were named as respondents in the case. However, a three-member panel of the Appellate Court dismissed the matter, ruling that it had become an academic exercise since Kanu had already been convicted and sentenced by the Federal High Court in Abuja. Kanu was convicted of terrorism on November 20. He's serving his sentence at the Sokoto Correctional Center. In the lead judgment, Justice Bolokoromo Ugo had that Kanu's lawyer Maxwell Opara confirmed during the processing that his client was being held at Sokoto prison. As a result, the court could not longer order his transfer to Kuje prison as had been requested from DSS custody. Justice Ugo noted that Kanu himself had previously insisted on being remanded in a convictional prison instead of DSS custody, according that his current location in a correctional facility already aligned with his stated preference. With that, the court struck out the appeal for lacking merit, effectively shutting down yet another legal pathway Kanu had attempted to use to challenges what he described as the government violation of his rights. This latest ruling comes barely a week after Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court convicted Kanu on a 7-count terrorism charge, ruling that federal prosecutors had proved their case beyond reasonable doubt. The IPOB leader was subsequently sentenced to life imprisonment. Kanu had earlier approached the Federal High Court to seek enforcement of his fundamental rights, accusing security agencies of illegal arrest, extraordinary retention, torture, and pronounced detention without adequate access to his lawyer. But Justice Taiwo dismissed the suit on July 3rd. Promptly, the appeal now thrown out by the Appellate court. So guys, I just want you guys to sit down and think about it. How will you pass a judgment on someone without the person committing any crime? Is that fair? I just want you guys to stay tuned. Hit the subscribe button for more trending videos.